everybody, and welcome to another YouTube live stream. This is Roberto Blake of RobertoBlake.com, helping you create something awesome. So today we're going to be talking about what small YouTubers need to know. We need to also talk about some updates coming from YouTube, some things that they're doing. They're going to affect all YouTubers, big and small. I'm also going to be taking your questions a little bit later in the stream. Thank you to everybody who donates via Super Chat. That is amazing, especially if you're trying to help out creators that you enjoy content from. As always, ad revenue is, not predictable, not as consistent as we would like. So any YouTuber that you want to support, definitely make sure you're super chatting with them whenever they're doing live streams. Would super appreciate it if you guys could actually share the stream in social media, invite your friends. Some of you are saying, what, audio's low? It shouldn't be, but I can double check here and see if we can do anything about that over on the switchboard here. That should be a little bit better. I think that's the most that I can bump the audio levels for you guys there, so I hope that helps out. I'm hoping the audio is also really clear, because otherwise it's going to be picking up the fan every minute. So maybe that helps for those of you who are watching live or watching the playback. Hope the audio is a little better now. So sorry for the delay. There was actually a problem with the webcam that I had to adjust while we were setting up here. I also need to get some water because this is going to be another one of those long live streams. But we're going to try and keep this to an hour and a half. But before we answer questions, the main thing that I want to focus on for this YouTube live stream is the things that I think small YouTubers need to know. And I feel like I've been talking with some of my colleagues. I've been talking with people like Nick Nimmin, Daryl Eves, Amy Schmittauer, Tim Schmoyer, Sonny Laraduzzi, Brian G. Johnson, like all of us YouTube educators, YouTube marketers, we all talk. Most of us are good friends. And one of the things that we've always strived for is to try to counter the misinformation and the myths that exist in YouTube. And part of the problem is that a lot of small YouTubers of all levels, they look at what big YouTubers are doing and they take that as the gospel, and then they don't necessarily believe in best practices. A lot of small YouTubers are not doing basic YouTube best practices, and the reason that we hear more often than not, and the excuse is, well, so-and-so doesn't do it, and they have 10 million or grew to 10 million or grew to 5 million practically overnight or whatever. And so that becomes a problem when people who know the algorithm, people who have case studies, people who have clients, or people who have actually talked to YouTube's team try to give information out there. The problem is that there's a lot of information that's anecdotal that comes from, not a source that's on the technical side of YouTube, but mostly from the community observing things, but not always understanding what they see or why that works. So when you only have your own data to work with, and when you only can look from the outside at big YouTubers without knowing what's going on under the hood of a channel, there's a lot of guesses and there's a lot of assumptions, and then that means that there's a lot of misinformation that gets put out there, and that's a problem. The other thing is that a lot of people think that it's impossible to grow on YouTube now because of how it was in the past. And yes, I will say in some ways, if you're only worried about, say, the way the algorithm works or the way certain things work, YouTube is very different than it was in 2013 and 2015, and it might be harder to grow for a lot of people. And it's also changed. The algorithms changed in 2017. We've talked about that in this live stream before. And so one of the things that I'm going to share with you is some details on why YouTube is specifically harder in 2013 and how that applies to the myths and misinformation that's in YouTube to this day, because a lot of people are still talking about YouTube in the way and in the context of how YouTube used to perform before major changes in 2013, serious changes in 2015, and the new changes that we have to deal with right now in 2017. If you're trying to grow YouTube and you're still playing by the rule book that let big YouTubers like iJustine and Marquez Brownlee and Philip DeFranco and a lot of your mainstream favorite YouTubers, if you're PewDiePie, if you're still trying to play by the rule book of what worked for them, it will not work for you because you didn't have momentum pre-major changes. The last 3 tiers of changes in YouTube do not allow you, if they were starting over today like many of you, what they did would not have worked, and they would have approached it very differently. So if you're trying to model yourself off of YouTubers that grew before major stopgap changes in the algorithm, it's going to be much more difficult because that was a younger, less developed version of the algorithm. It's like it's like when people are in the beta test for something and they're like, I'm the master of this game or this program or this application because it was in the beta, and then the real thing comes out. It's like, oh, I'm not so good at this anymore. It's the difference between, I would say, like, playing something on easy mode versus hard mode. I'm not saying YouTube wasn't hard pre-2013, because the problem is that pre-2013, YouTube, no one knew what a YouTuber was. Most adults still didn't know what YouTube was in 2013. Now, it's very hard to find someone under 25 that doesn't know what YouTube is. Still hard to find someone under 30 that doesn't know at least what YouTube is. They may not know anything about it, probably couldn't name a YouTuber for you, doesn't know that YouTuber is a word, but they at least know what it is. There's nobody in a marketing or corporate position in advertising that doesn't know what YouTube is. So I'm going to address some of the things that change there and why YouTube is different and what you need to do. First, let me get to some of these super chats. Malevolent Elephant, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Had my best week ever and doubled my subs yesterday. Now at 27 subs. Roberto, you've helped me so much. Thank you, brother. Jen Adventures TV, I love these live streams so much. Thanks, Roberto. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Malevolent Elephant. So here is one of the things. Before 2013 and the major changes to the algorithm, your subscriber count did matter. You guys have heard me go on record as saying that right now in YouTube, that your subscriber count, aside from getting a silver play button and a gold play button and a diamond play button, your subscriber count doesn't affect the algorithm, doesn't affect your ability to reach people, doesn't affect the views on your videos. It doesn't. It did before 2013. Before 2013, it mattered. And if you don't necessarily believe that, I'm going to do a search, and I'm going to show you guys a search on YouTube pretty much in real time here. So let's go ahead and let's cut to, let's move the screen caps. Oh, I have to adjust this thing so that I have to resize this part of the window. So let me shrink that. All right, just give me 1 second here, guys, and then I'll show you my screen to make this point that I want to make, and we'll be all good. I just forgot to set that part of the webcam up when the webcam stopped working, so apologies all around for that. And let's transition. All right, so if my transition worked here, we should be on the YouTube homepage. I'm gonna type in Fitbit charge review. I'm going to show you something. And I'm just guessing that this is going to play out the way that I think it is. There are some big channels here, obviously, and that's going to definitely play out that way. But I'm guessing that there's going to be some small channels too. All right, so those are big, and I expect them to be big. But look at this. This guy has 250,000. This guy has 800,000. This guy has 250,000. So this 250,000 channel beat this 8,000 channel. And so this 300K. But I bet you there's going to be some stuff down here. 1K subscribers. What do you know? 1K subscribers, a 2-year-old video, 1,000 subscribers, first page. Granted, these guys ranked higher, but they've also got multiple videos, which that's a big part of this. But look at this. A 1K subscriber channel got 55,000 views. Beat CNET. Million subscribers. Pink Fairy beats CNET. Okay? This channel, 26K subscribers. This channel, 10 subscribers. And it beat it. Right there. And you guys saw me type that in real time. So there's no, what is it people do now? Like no, inspect element, no cheats, no cheat codes. 300 subscribers, first page. 3 months ago. 6,000 views, but it's on the first page. Beating channels with almost 1 million subscribers. Outdoor Enthusiast, 2K subscribers, first page. So as you can see, I'm not doing anything special here. For the Fitbit Charge, which I didn't even get specific. It could have been the Fitbit Charge 2. It could have been any number. Like, there's only, and I say only because this could pull, like, results that have nothing to do with this. But for all the millions of YouTubers out there, and for all the people who must have done fitness videos and Fitbit Charge reviews, and a lot of it will be Fitbit Charge, there's like 4 or 5 versions of the Fitbit Charge. That's why there's so many results here. But it's 106,000 results, and YouTubers with 1,000 subscribers, and YouTubers with 327 subscribers, and YouTubers with 2K subscribers can rank on the first page of YouTube. People, and they're outranking people with thousands and in some cases millions of subscribers. So if you're a small YouTuber and you're like, there's no way I can compete with big YouTubers, then there's no way I can compete with big channels, everyone's already done anything, so I can't rank for it and I can't get views, you're wrong. You're wrong, because it clearly can be done. It clearly can be done, and the evidence is right in front of you. So that's something that I think small YouTubers really need to know, and I've just shown you the actual proof is that these are small channels. Some of them you're like, oh, that's not as small as me. But look, I found a channel on the first page that has, okay, that's 2K views. You're like, oh, I haven't broke 1,000, Roberto. I hear all the whining still. Okay, I'm going to find, where was it? There was a channel here somewhere that had like 300 subscribers or something like that. Yeah, there's like 327. 327 has only made 5 videos. 307 subscribers, 6,000 views, so it's not views that get you on the first page, and it's clearly not subscriber count. Alright? So, we now understand that that's part of the reality here. I'm going to go on this video and let's see what, let's see what TubeBuddy has to say. Let's see what comes up on the analytics data here, for TubeBuddy. Alright. So, this video, by the way, it could have gotten a crap ton more views, and I'll tell you why. So, in the first 48 hours, this didn't even get any views. But it became relevant because I guarantee you that it got views from recommended and related videos. So I definitely believe that to be the case because look at these much more popular videos that show up on the side. I'm sure that there's stuff that's funneling back over in recommended videos. And it only ranked for 2 things because these tags are really poorly done. If I was going to rate on a scale of 1 to 10, these tags were done at a 1 or a 2 out of 10. You got a lot of things that don't make sense to have in here in tags. But here's the thing. It ranked for Fitbit Honest Review, and it ranked for Fitbit Charge 2 honest review. And guess what? That probably matters. That probably is important. It probably may not be the most. Look at that. You see why it matters? High volume search, low competition. And so doing that on just 2 tags got this YouTuber with no subscribers hardly enough views from recommended and searched. And see, Fitbit Honest Review by itself is low volume, low search, but she was able to rank number 1 for it, or he was able to rank number 1 for it. So, but this one, this is what did it for them. Being able to have something that people would search for that had high search and low competition, Fitbit 2 Charge Honest Review. They could have ranked for like 5 or 6 more tags if they had done this well and done this right, and they probably could have gotten a lot more views, especially in the first 48 hours. But this video continues to get them almost 200 views per day, and that's going to add up. And notice that even though they had wildly fantastic views, it didn't necessarily grow them a ton of subscribers. In fact, this says that they gained 8 subscribers on this video, and this video has been out for a while. So, that by itself, just doing that one search and just looking at that one video, you see how a lot of misconceptions and myths and things get thrown around in YouTube. So I hope that really puts it into context for you. That should make it clear to the far majority of you how YouTube actually works. And that it's not views and it's not subscribers by itself. It's really not. One of the other things we saw on that video was that it had an average view duration of over 3 minutes and 38 seconds. The average view duration across the board on YouTube is usually around 2 minutes or less. So it's already killing it there. The average watch through out of the entire video is 45%. Most people don't watch 20 to 30% of a video. So it's crushing it on that from the YouTube's algorithms perspective of what is relevant. And from the little bit that we saw and what I looked at from that video, the video quality was done really well. It's them holding it in their hand. There's a blurry background, so it's using, a fancy enough camera, apparently. So it's a good video. It's a quality video. Could have been tagged better, but it did rank for something that people would search for, that it was able to be competitive on. And it was able to relate to other videos in the recommended from much bigger channels that was able to siphon some recommended views from, because when you watch a review video, you don't just watch one. You usually watch 3 or 4 review videos before you buy something. At least I do. So those things all play an important role in being competitive in the algorithm and in terms of the way people search and look at videos. And I don't think a lot of small YouTubers understand that. Now, some of you are asking, what plugin did I use to get all of that data and information? It's called TubeBuddy. Go to tubebuddy.com/awesome and use the code Roberto'sBuddy linked up in the description below, and you'll get 20% off of TubeBuddy, and it will help you with better tagging and rankings, tell you what the best days to upload for your channel's data is. It will help you with bulk editing your descriptions and things like that, can help you with thumbnail generation. Those things actually really are important, and TubeBuddy's a great tool. It's your Swiss Army knife for YouTube. So they're not sponsoring the live stream, but they are a friend of the channel. That affiliate link does help me out, but you guys get 20% off. So use the link, use the code. That would be awesome, and that will help you. Tonya Lasana, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Really appreciate you. So yeah, you just saw it for yourself in the first little bit of this stream. You saw for yourself. Oh, thank you for another $5 super chat. Really appreciate it. You saw for yourself in this stream that there are things that you would assume would play out in someone's favor in YouTube. And I'm not saying that subscribers don't help. I'm saying that mostly it's irrelevant. And let's go ahead and I'll go back to the YouTube homepage and I'll prove it. So let's go ahead and transition over. Here's why what you're subscribed to doesn't matter. You see this? Home, trending, and subscriptions. This is kind of what YouTube used to look like if you were me. If you were me in 2013, your homepage would be all of this stuff because it's giving you stuff from the new people that you're subscribed to. Not a shock that I'm subscribed to IGN and A Drive and Discovery and Books and Quills because I'm a big old nerd, and Nintendo and the Vlog Brothers and movie reviewers. It's probably at Nintendo Switch Force. Like, it's probably not a surprise that these are the channels who put out content recently out of all the channels I watch. Great business videos for great entrepreneurs. Of course, I'm subscribed to that. Shalene Johnson. Of course, I'm subscribed to that. Like, then there's channels I'm subscribed to here for research, like Jake Paul. There are reasons. That being said, this is what my subscriptions tab looks like. This is what YouTube used to look like, which is why subscribers used to matter in 2013 and before that. But today, it's not that. Today, the homepage is based on, well, what are some of the last things I clicked on for whatever reason? And it's going to give me recommended videos based on the last things I clicked on. Based on the fact that I clicked on my own recent video about video editing, it's giving me that. Based on the fact that I watched my friend Geekdom 101 stuff, it's giving me Dragon Ball Z stuff from other channels. Clicked on Jake Paul stuff for research purposes, so I'm getting Logan Paul stuff. I did a video about business for animators, and so it's giving me animation stuff. So it's, and of course I watch Brett Conti. So, of course, it's giving me things related to things that I've previously watched. Obviously, I watch, Kai Wong, Gary Vaynerchuk, Philly D, Sarah Dietschy. So it's recommending those things based on things that I've watched. And again, because I watch my friend Geekdom stuff, it's going to keep giving me Dragon Ball Z stuff. I watched videos about VidCon because my friend Jason Liebman did one about my VidCon meetup, so it's giving me all the things. So I've been watching some fitness stuff, so my boy Leo Rising Wolf, shout out to you, guy. So there's all these things, and it's based on things that I've been watching. It's based on what I've been watching. It's based on my user behavior. So user behavior, if you're not only watching channels you're subscribed to, has nothing to do with channels you're subscribed to, because as you can see, it's very different than the channels I'm subscribed to, and what they put out today is very different than what my homepage output was. Because I don't only watch channels that I'm subscribed to, and I don't subscribe to every channel I watch, which is the same as most of you, which means that your viewers, your subscribers, they're getting recommended videos based on what they watched last. Which means that you putting out more content on a regular basis to keep them coming back means you have a better chance of showing up in their homepage, because the subscriptions tab, no one's going over to that anymore. I haven't gone over to this subscriptions tab aside from doing YouTube experiments and doing these kind of videos. I almost never go to the subscription tab. And because I don't really care about trending unless I'm doing research, I don't go to the trending tab either. Which means that even if you did a viral video, if a friend or a family member didn't share it with me on Facebook, I'm not watching your viral video if it doesn't fit the niche of content that I watch. It doesn't matter how epic your prank was. It doesn't matter how good the lipstick was. It doesn't matter how expensive that computer was and it went viral because you put firecrackers in it. It doesn't matter what it is if it's a viral video if you're not reaching the people you don't want to reach, because the odds are I'm not going to watch a viral video just because it's a viral video. You have almost no chance of reaching me. And that might be a lot more people that if your video goes viral, they may not, and even if it does, you're a one-hit wonder, they may not subscribe. It may get you attention. You may get subscribers that never watch another video from you, but that subscriber count, it'll get you a silver play button, it'll get you a gold play button, but it's not going to get people to see you in the YouTube homepage. What's going to do that is what they watch on a regular basis and who they watch that matches your content. That's real, and we're seeing it play out. That's why I'm showing you the screen of, oh wow. And, if I watch something, or if I search for something enough times, it's going to end up here on my recommended. I mean, look, Game of Thrones, But it's a charisma hack from my friends over at Charisma and Command, like Charlie and Ben. Like, so it's the algorithm is based on how you behave. Just like Amazon knows what, like, it knows I bought a Panasonic Lumix GH5, so it recommended me the lens, it recommended me the ND filter, it recommended me all the accessories, because it knows what I bought. YouTube knows what you watched, how long you watched it, what you searched for, and it's creating a profile about you to figure out how to give you more of those things, more of the things you just watched. And it doesn't care what you subscribe to anymore. It just doesn't, because you saw how wildly different my subscriptions tab was from my recommended. And it's going to keep being like that because maybe I subscribed. Maybe I subscribed because I'm researching somebody. Maybe I subscribed because of one video, but I haven't watched them in 3 months. So the subscription count, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't help you. It doesn't necessarily hurt you per se, but it certainly doesn't help you, because if someone doesn't want to watch that video just because they're subscribed to you doesn't mean anything. You guys, there's videos from me. You guys subscribe. There's videos from me you just don't bother watching because you don't think that it relates to you. Some of you, you're not going to watch the Panasonic GH5 reviews or setup videos because maybe you're not going to buy this camera. Maybe this is outside your budget, or maybe you want full frame cameras because you're a photographer, or maybe this doesn't get it done for you in low light, or maybe it's too heavy for your build. Like, you know, there might be reasons you don't watch that. You might not watch the upcoming review of the Zhiyun crane. Like, there's reasons for people not to watch every single video. The smartest, most successful, fast-growing YouTubers right now, I hate to tell you, the way they win is they just spam the content that got them the most views and subscribers. They just do a one-off video of the thing that got them the most views and subscribers and do the next outrageous thing they could possibly do that fits within their niche or their trend, and that's it. The formula for winning on YouTube is basically find a video that gets you a bunch of subscribers, find a video that gets you a bunch of views, and then find 100 ways to make the same kind of video and just spam that out, and you will get a silver or gold play button, and that's really what it comes down to. And, you know, that's what people are doing. That's not the only answer, because I don't do that and I don't want to do that, so I optimize my videos and I just take hits on views, and I get a lot of subs out of that over the long term of making 1,000 videos, but I'm doing something different where my channel is aligned to a business plan. And that's different, and it works for me because I'm not trying to live off YouTube ad money because, well, we've seen that goes away. So, you know, that's my answer to it. So we've seen firsthand, straight up, that subscriber count does not do what people thinks it does. Subscriber count does not give you an advantage in the way that people thinks it does, because in 2013 it did. In 2013 and before, it absolutely did. Because if you were subscribed to someone, their videos would show up on your homepage. So it doesn't really help now because of the change in the algorithm. But it did before. And that's why YouTubers were mad based on those changes. You remember, YouTube's changing, YouTube's changing, YouTube's changing. Everybody did videos about it, right? This is why people are mad, is because they had from 2006. They had from 2006 to 2013 a very specific way that they knew they could use YouTube and it would be successful, and most of it was based on the subscriber count. And as long as you could win with your subscribers, you could win. Whiskey Jason, do people really want to see the same thing 100 times? Clearly they do. There are people who don't, though. But it works. It's variations of a theme. It's 10 or 20% difference. And Malevolent Elephant is right. Most of those YouTubers that you see do that cater to a young audience. Most of you in this community, I know for a fact most of you aren't young. I know for a fact, based on analytical data, that 70% of you in this audience are between 18 and 34, and that the overwhelming majority of you skew up older than that, and I know that less than 7% of you watching are under 18, which means I play YouTube very differently than a lot of other people. Golden says, why didn't you just say make more videos, copy other people's videos, and spam people? No way I would do that. I'm being partly sarcastic and condescending when I say that. If you can't pick up on the subtle inflections in my tone and my humor, I'm saying that if you look at most of the bigger channels, especially in specific niches, you'll see that that's exactly what people do, and that people ride trends. You'll see that, have you not noticed that like most YouTubers always make a video, my first YouTube paycheck, or how much money do I make on YouTube? Have you not noticed that people do that? They're riding consistent trends that break through. And everybody did a fidget spinner video. Everybody does like there's, and the thing is, it's okay to do a video that other people have done. I'm not saying that you can't do a video that other people have done. I'm not saying that you can't tap into a trend. It's fine to do it if you're doing it in a unique and creative and interesting way. You make something your own. And so I believe in that. However, you'll see a lot of people who don't necessarily do that, and they are successful. And so that is part of it. And again, there are formulaic things that people have done that have worked for them. Because again, it's not a guarantee. I've looked at a lot of channels, and I looked at their history, and I saw, here's when this person changed and everything changed for them. What I did was I looked at a primary example. I looked and watched a pattern that before 6-8 months ago didn't exist for Jake Paul. I met Jake Paul last year at VidCon last year when Disney was premiering the show that he's in, Bizaardvark. And I was working, full disclosure, I was working as a consultant for Disney at the time for an engagement for their marketing team that was unrelated to the show. But it's all related to the story because it just gives context. And I remember looking into Jake Paul and his social media at the time and his YouTube channel at the time. I said, he's going to go big. He's someone to watch. And I remember talking to my best friend Malcolm, who's an actor. And I was like, you need to look at what Jake Paul is doing in social media. And he's like, what, the Viner guy? And I'm like, yeah, but like Vine is getting ready to die. I see him pivoting to YouTube. I see him in Instagram. I see his social media. I see him on Twitter. And you need to look at what he's doing, and you need to reverse engineer that. So this is a conversation I was having last year with my best friend. A couple of months later, I'm watching Gary Vaynerchuk, and Gary Vaynerchuk is saying almost verbatim the same things. And then a year goes by, crickets, right? But a couple of months ago, all of a sudden, boom! Jake Paul everywhere, blowing up. Oh, wow, never been done, right? But here's the thing. I took a look at what changed. I took a look at what changed from the way he was doing his daily vlogs at the beginning of his channel, and then I looked at what he changed, and he recognized the pattern 9 months ago, and he started testing an idea. It's like, why am I even telling you? I can just show you. 354 videos, almost to 9 million subscribers. Congrats, Jake. And let's just take a look at, okay, so recent uploads. You guys notice anything about this thumbnail strategy? Notice how the consistent these thumbnails are, like, you know, real talk. Like, this is smart, okay? Now watch this. I'm going to go, because this is by newest. Let's go to oldest. Watch this. And like you noticed how like all of his videos are getting like 8 million and 5 million views now, right? He was a big Viner. He brought his audience over and everything. But here is 3 years ago. A lot of people don't realize his channel is this old, right? And a lot of these views are people now just going back and doing what I'm doing and doing research and looking at and just seeing what his humble beginnings were. But the channel was very different. And you'll notice these thumbnails look nothing like the thumbnails from today, right? And the views look nothing like the views from today. Even a year ago, like, you know, aside from, you know, the Rice Gum diss track blowing up, like, which is what started a lot of the ideas for things going on now, like, not performing the same way, right? Like, very few of these breaking out. And a lot of these are just now also, like, starting to break out. But it's like, like, this could only do 250,000. This did 2 million. This one did 2 million, but all the ones before it, nothing did that. Okay, this dude did 2 million. I can't hit 2 million again. Can't hit 2 million again. And you'll notice a pattern here. But then throwing Alyssa in the pool, 4 million. Pranking her every day, 4 million. She's in my tub, 2 million. This didn't do as well. This didn't do it well. You notice that, I found something that worked. None of those got the same results. Something worked. Something worked. And then inconsistent, 4 million, but then down to can't break 200 fans. But then killer crown thing, popular meme going on the internet, 10 million. Okay, didn't work. Couldn't break a million, and break a million. This is back when the trend of, remember when everyone was doing overnight challenges? Okay, still haven't figured out the thumbnail strategy yet. All right, didn't hit, didn't make it. This one did it because Vine was dying. Okay, so that worked out. All right, 11 million. We got something. All right, 6 million. I think I figured it out. Mannequin challenge. Didn't quite clear 2 million. All right. Cleared 2 million. Okay. Couldn't break 500,000. Just needed to put this one out here. We hit 2 million again. So this is 8 months. You see, this is the pattern of, okay, we went back 3 years and then we looked at 8 months ago. And then you're going to see the 6-month mark is where things get really interesting, guys. Again, this is how analytical I get about looking at things. So I'm seeing the pattern. I'm seeing, all right, we're getting there. We're figuring out the thumbnails. We're figuring out, this worked. This title and this kind of thing worked. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting consistency. It's like we're doing 1 million views about every video now. We're doing 1 million views every million. We fell short. We got it again. All right, million. All right, fell short. We got it. Hit a trend again. Didn't even hit 250,000 this time. Okay. And so you see a pattern here going into 7 months ago. And then you're going to see that is holding consistently, always over 1 million, pretty much, always over 1 million. And then after 6 months, constantly, pretty much aside from this one little thing, here or there, few hit or misses, almost always over 1 million. Without fail, after we hit that 6-month mark, it's almost 1 million every time, without fail. And then you see the thumbnail strategies change. 6 months in, like 6 months ago. 6 months ago, thumbnails go to a completely different level, and it's consistent in terms of hitting the views, hitting that threshold of views. And so, after 5 months ago, there's never a video pretty much after 5 months ago that doesn't do 1 million to 5 million views. It's just, after that, it's just domination. And it wasn't about the subscriber count. It was about the strategy. It was about the strategy being deployed, and it was about figuring out things in the algorithm, and it was working. And so the thumbnails, and then you really see the thumbnail game go to another level and stay there, and stay there, and stay there. And so it's at this point, they've manufactured a process that is ridiculously consistent. Also, you saw the frequency of uploads and the volume change. And so you saw it yourself. In chronological order, you saw the evolution of a channel. You saw the evolution of hit or miss, figuring out what works for 3 years, figuring out what works, testing, having some successes, and then making a formula around what was successful and literally doing it every single day. And so it's not quite the same thing, but it is the same formula. And the thing is, if you wanted to know, it's not like we haven't seen this before. Casey Neistat was everyone's favorite YouTube filmmaker for 5 years to get to 500,000 subscribers. He became a daily vlogger that took filmmaking and television quality production values to vlogging and then uploaded every day for 2 years, and that's what got him to almost 8 million in 2 years after struggling for 5 years just to break 500,000. So it was some very, very smart pivots and moves, and that's the difference of once you hit on something and then you're able to apply and run it through your machine, so to speak, your process. That's what makes the difference, because you saw it yourself. The evolution of Jake Paul's YouTube channel, you saw it right before your very eyes. You saw exactly what happened over the course of 3 years, and it came down to what content resonated with my audience the most. How do I make more of that? What thumbnails get clicked the most? What types of titles of content gets clicked the most? And then, okay, I figured that out. Now I do that every single day. And that was what worked. That was what worked. It was, I found something that I did. Out of all the things I did, out of all the experiments, these experiments yielded the best results. These were the best thumbnails. These were the best titles. This was the best type of video. This was the one that got me the most subscribers. This was the one that got me the most views. And then making that, okay, I understand the system. I proved that every time I do this, it will hit the levels that I want. Now I will do it more, and I'll prove that. Okay, cool. And so do I have a process to make it every single day? And so that was the practicality behind what Jake was doing. And we saw it play out with Casey Neistat as well. We saw it play out with Gary Vaynerchuk, a completely different genre. We saw that work. And so that is what matters. Before that, we saw that play out with PewDiePie. We saw that play out with Jacksepticeye and Markiplier too. Regardless of genre, if you take the best 10 videos you've ever done, regardless of genre, the best 10 performing videos you've ever done, and you figure out the process for manufacturing videos of the same quality that hit the same emotional or interest or value triggers for your audience that they respond to the most, and then you scaled that to every day or 5 times a week, you will be successful. Philip DeFranco, same thing. You find a thumbnail strategy that works, you do more of that thumbnail strategy. You find titles and topics that work, you do more of those titles and topics, and you will have similar numbers and results, and you will be able to prove that it's repeatable the more often you do it back to back, because you saw us look at that with this channel, with Jake Paul's channel. And so now it's not a secret. Now there's other algorithm hacks and things that were done under the hood there. There's other factors like Team 10 and having all the collaborations and all those people scaling and growing together, and the value of what a YouTube squad is. There's obviously the reaction videos that you siphon recommended videos for to create session loops and watch time loops. Yes, all of those things. But those are advanced level tactics that small YouTubers don't necessarily need to worry about right now. But what anyone can do, regardless of how many subscribers you have, regardless of how many views you have, is that you can keep making videos. And then whatever your best performing videos are, you can find ways to make more videos that are similar in nature to that and find out what those subscribers want the most. And then you can scale that. And then as long as that's starting to get successful, if you can figure out how to do it 5 times a week or do it every day, your channel will grow. And that's what it comes down to. Beyond the optimization, beyond the best practices, which are all still important, that and understanding your audience, understanding exactly what your audience wants, exactly what they would come back for every day. That's the secret. It's just like sales and marketing. This product sold the most. Order more of it. Put it in the front of the store. You know, that's it. It's really that straightforward. All right, so I've got a podcast interview that I've got to be on in 40 minutes. So I'm going to try and, acknowledge every single one of these super chats, and then take some Q&A, and then we're going to shut this thing down so I can finish the last bit of prep for my podcast interview that I'm going to be on. So let's go ahead and acknowledge these super chats. The Funky Rider, thank you for the $2 super chat. Sean Begiri, thank you for the $10 super chat. Great info. B. Pauly, hey Roberto, you are great. Does metadata in JPEGs help rank high in SEO? B. Pauly, I don't believe it does with regard to YouTube, but it always helps to label things well whenever you need to personally find them and identify them, and it couldn't hurt. It also could help with Google, so I would look at that. True Nightmares, thank you for the $20 super chat. You're tremendous. Hey, Roberto, any advice on horror channels? I was uploading, but after the changes to the YouTube, and due to losing my grandmother, so sorry about that. I lost my grandmother last August. I got discouraged and stopped. I want to return, but not sure what changes I should make. True Nightmares. Look at the best performing videos you've ever done. Look at videos that are horror films that have big cult fan followings or are trending, and do more content like that. And more than anything, just get back on the horse, my friend. Just make videos. Just be consistent. But also pay attention to what your best performing videos were and do things that are similar in nature. So that's definitely what I would say. Let's look at a couple of these questions. Let's see here. The Wisdom of Guardian Wolf says, I feel like art and gaming is less viewed unless you're unique in your charisma and your thinking capacity level and how fast your brain processes your surroundings. There might be something to that. I think it mostly comes down to how interesting you are on camera and how good your thumbnails are and whether your content is optimized. Whether it's art or gaming, I think that's true. I think that's definitely true. My favorite art channel on YouTube, Draw with Jazza, I've seen that play out. J-Jaw says, oh, thank you for the $5 super chat, J-Jaw. Is it okay to be paid by a sponsor for only links in the description and your comments? Example, charge sponsors to play their links. Thank you. Hey, if a sponsor wants to pay for it, and as long as you're disclosing that that's what it is, take the money. Kevin's Mac, thank you for the $5 super chat. I'm a gaming streamer and I gain subs quickly while I'm streaming, then steadily lose them when not. Any idea how I lessen this? Kevin, you're going to have to gain subs doing something not streaming, and then when you do that, you're going to have to rinse and repeat whatever let you gain subs, because if you're only gaining them when you stream and then they're going away afterward, streaming isn't something you can do 24 hours. That's not sustainable, so you're going to have to get subscribers another way and then make that sustainable. Luquan's channel, how to deal with haters. I've done a video on it. No hippie, BBQ, and cooking. Do making playlists benefit a channel even if they don't get views? They do, and they could eventually lead to views. It helps with the algorithm relating your content to other content, and also they do get views. You may not see it in a weird way. The individual videos within them get views, and it helps with search results and recommended, so I would. Ethan Wands. I just explained that what Jake Paul does isn't just predicated on the algorithm. What Jake Paul does is predicated on the most valuable YouTube tip, which is understanding your audience, using the fact that you saw something work, and then repeating what worked. That's a rule in business. That's a rule in content marketing. That's a rule in... Look, Michael Bay keeps spamming Transformers movies because he keeps raking in money. The minute Michael Bay stops raking in money, Transformers movies will stop. But it's been proven that people will go watch them. I'll go watch them. And I'll keep handing over money. And so why would they stop? So it's like, that's not gaming the system. That's just being smart and observant and delivering your audience what they want and have come to expect. A lot of times YouTubers will do content that is more about what they want to do. I'm one of those people, but what I don't do is I don't complain about the views. I don't complain about the views when I do whatever I want and don't think about what performed well. I know exactly what performs well on this channel. I know exactly what performs well on this channel. You want to know what performs? Now, granted, and guess what? I'm going to do more content that performs well because it's going to definitely help some upcoming goals that I have, but I can show you exactly what I know performs well on this channel. If I go to my most popular uploads, I know exactly what performs well on this channel and why. I mean, that Premiere Pro video editing video that I did is going to keep killing it. It got like, 5,000 views in the first day, which isn't normal on this channel in most cases, but I know exactly what will perform on this channel. What will perform on this channel? Video editing tutorials will perform well on this channel. Laptop buyer guides and camera buying guides will perform well on this channel. Small business advice for people at home and passive income and how to make money online, that'll perform on this channel. I know that for a fact. If I'm one of the first people to review a product, it'll perform well on this channel. Obviously, tips that target small YouTubers and beginners in YouTube will perform on this channel. Free software will perform well on this channel. List style videos, 10 tips, 5 tips, 10 tips, 5 tips, will perform well on this channel. Putting best in the title before something will perform well on this channel. Career-based videos will perform well on this channel. There's another passive income video. Like, more laptop stuff. Like, I know, more camera stuff. I know exactly, another Photoshop tutorial, another graphic design career. I know exactly what content, and there's enough of it diversity-wise. If I was going to just start spamming the content that I know will get me to 1 million subscribers, I don't think any of you would notice. I would notice because I would start to get bored making videos and have to start drinking caffeine before I go on. That's what would happen. I would have to start caffeinating to have the energy that I need to be on camera instead of just doing it cold. And so that's why I won't be doing that. But if I did, no one would notice because of the way that the channel is set up. No one would notice. But I could do the videos that I know will hit like a very nice threshold of views very easily. Because just like Jake, I have enough data to tell me that. And again, if that's the game you want to play, if you specifically want to play the YouTube game, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not going to judge you. I'm just telling you that the creators that are the happiest make the content that they want. If you can make the content that you want and it's also your best performing content, that's the best. That's the best. If you can make exactly what you want and it's also your best performing content, that's amazing. Most people, the content that performs the best isn't the thing they're most excited about. I'm one of those people. The content that performs the best on this channel is not necessarily always the content I'm the most excited about, but often I also do believe sometimes it's the most helpful to the most people. And so I respect that, so I keep making content like that. It's why I won't swear off any videos on making money online, because I really want you guys to make money online. And I know how to do that, and I've done it. And that's how I'm able to buy my camera gear and my stuff that I like, is because I figured those things out beyond YouTube. And again, I make more money outside of YouTube AdSense than YouTube AdSense. It's a fraction of the money, and so I'm fine with talking about how to do that. I want to do a video coming up to teach people who want to. Some of you are fitness YouTubers and you need to make a paid membership site and you need to launch an online course. I want to do videos about, well, what platforms, what are the best 5 sites to build an online course. I want to make that video because there's some of you that need to make online courses for your business model on YouTube, and you need to get people over to that, and it's going to make real money for you. It's going to change your life to do an online course. There are some of you that need to do paid membership groups for people, especially if you're in the vegan or the health community or the fitness community. There are a lot of you that should be doing membership groups, but you don't know how to set it up. You don't know which ones do the best payout, or which ones take some of your money every month, a percentage of your earnings, like what pay systems you use. Is it PayPal? Do you use Venmo? Do you use Stripe? Do you use Square? Like, you guys don't, some of you don't know that. Some of you don't know, okay, if I sell a product in the real world or I'm at a conference, like what's the best swipe thing that takes the least of my money? Do I use PayPal here, or do I use Square, or do I use something else? Like, so there's a reason that I make certain videos, even if I'm not super excited about them, is that they will be the most helpful to people. And in a lot of cases, a lot of those videos are the ones that revolve around the small business side of things, or around platforms, or around specific types of technology. So I want to do those videos to be helpful. The videos I get most excited about, though, personally, are videos that have to do with gears, or how to do certain camera techniques, or how to do certain video editing techniques are the ones that get me excited the most. The ones that get me excited the most are the interviews, where I get to interview other creators. Some of the travel stuff. Like, those videos get me the most excited, and those are the most fun for me to edit. My creative thoughts vlogs are some of the most fun videos for me to do personally. Sometimes the rants. But those don't necessarily get the most views. So I sacrifice views to do what I'm happy with. Most YouTubers will sacrifice what they're happy doing to get the most views. And I understand it. I'm not judging them, but it's also why people burn out. So Pierre XO, thank you for the $5 super chat. My content is fairly alternative and obscure. How do I attract a niche that doesn't exist on YouTube yet? Also, how do I attract viewers for rants? Good question. The answer is they will have to share it. If you have something that's that specific, the other people who are part of that community will have to share it. You might consider making a Facebook group for people like that, though, and using that to help grow your subscribership and give people a place to share that type of content, even when it's not yours, because that is what will help. Some of you should be using Facebook more as YouTubers, honestly. Inner Fire, how do I get my audience retention above 35%? I like my videos and I think they're unique. The pacing of the videos will probably have to change. You'll probably have to change something in your presentation style or your video format. That's the answer. Rose Rocket 109 asks, Roberto, can your logo help people notice you on YouTube? It can, but it might not. Ethan Wands asks, if AdSense doesn't give you that much money, then how do YouTubers make a living? Some YouTubers... All right, here's another fun fact for you guys as small YouTubers. Not all YouTube views are worth the same amount of money, and not every YouTube channel of the same subscriber count or the same viewer count is worth the same amount of money. Different ads play on different channels based on their content and based on their tags and based on their audience behavior, and different channels therefore are getting different advertisers advertising on them, and those advertisers have different CPM rates and different budgets. No YouTube channel is equal. No two YouTube channels that get the exact same amount of views make the same amount of money. It's a myth. A lot of you think, if I get this many views, I'll get this much money. Every single YouTube channel is unique in the ad algorithm. Every single YouTube channel is unique in the ad algorithm. Because every single YouTube channel is getting a unique pool of ads based on its user behavior, or if you're with a multi-channel network, based on what they were able to negotiate in the bulk ad sale. And because most of you are not advertisers, most of you have never bought ads before, most of you have never used Google AdWords to buy ads to sell a product or a service, that will be beyond you, and that's why I'm not going to get into weeds in it. I will do some video at some point that addresses it, but it will probably not be something the majority of you watch, because it's going to be about being an advertiser and not being about a YouTuber. But if you understood how being an advertiser works, you'd understand fully why I say that no two YouTube channels are the same on ad money. And so to say you need to do this much or this much to make a living on YouTube, it's an irrelevant, ignorant statement, because no two channels are equal. No two channels are the same. I showed you how every viewer has a different homepage based on their behavior. Is there any reason you don't think that that's the same thing when it comes to ad behavior too? It's the same thing when it comes to ads. The ads following me around are not the ads following you around, because your behavior is different, which means that the way that each of us impacts the YouTubers that we watch, and we all watch different people. My subscribe to list is different than your subscribe to list. It means that the way they make money from us is different. The smartest YouTubers diversify their revenue stream. The laziest YouTubers live off of AdSense and then cry whenever YouTube changes their business model. AdSense could go away tomorrow. I'll be less comfortable, but I won't be broke. A lot of people, AdSense goes away tomorrow, they're done. They're done. They can't pay rent. And I will never put myself in that situation. I have 20 revenue streams for a reason. But that's my business model. That's my thing. It's why I built a membership group, Awesome Creator Academy, which is a mentoring program. And it's not for YouTubers. It's for creative entrepreneurs, most of who happen to have YouTube channels, because that's smart. But I built a mentoring group with a subscription model with a monthly fee attached to it, because that's another practical way off of YouTube to make money on a platform that I own, that Google or YouTube don't control and don't turn off the hose of how I make my money. I'm a consultant because I have my own website, robertoblake.com. YouTube and Google don't necessarily turn off that fire hose either. And I have all my other social media platforms, and I market in those as well. And so I have my podcast. I have the Create Something Awesome Today podcast. I have my Anchor call-in show, Ask for Awesome. I built my brand instead of prioritizing my YouTube channel. Most of the YouTubers that you guys know and love, they put YouTube first. YouTube gave them a personal brand, but they're not leveraging it that much elsewhere from a monetary standpoint. They'll still be known and there'll be quantities, but if YouTube went away, it would be devastating for most of the people that you guys know and love here on the platform because they haven't built their business and their brand to be YouTube independent. At least not yet, the majority of them. And it matters. It really matters. So I would really encourage you guys to diversify beyond YouTube, both from your revenue standpoint, but also how you're building out your brand. There are people that see me speak at conferences, never heard of my YouTube channel. A lot of people listen to my podcast, don't even know I have a YouTube channel. So there is a real importance in eliminating the vulnerability of your reliance on a single platform or on a single revenue stream. YouTubers who call this their job are going to get hurt because YouTubers who call this their job haven't built out a fully dependent business model outside of YouTube. And that's dangerous because it's just like having a job. If you get fired, you're done. The platform goes away, you're done. And you never want to be in that position. So that's my answer. I got prepped for this podcast interview coming up, so I'll take like one or two more quick questions. Let's see. Wisdom of the Guardian. So basically be popular, be recognizable across any popular social media platform so that you won't be broke. Being recognizable isn't enough, Guardian Wolf. You have to have ways of making money. Just being recognizable doesn't, like, look, if I got 20,000 more Instagram followers, by the way, follow me on Instagram at Roberto Blake. And trust me, you'll really like what you see over in my Instagram profile because it's different. Which everybody says that, but I'm actually doing it. If I were to get 20,000 new followers in Instagram, that doesn't make me any money. What makes me money is if I use that to attract a sponsor. What makes me money is the fact that my bit.ly link, my profile link out from my Instagram is for my mentoring group, which means that if people out of curiosity click on that or any of the sponsored ads that I run so cheap in Instagram, based on just content marketing, but paying for extra reach to boost the post, if people click on that and they decide to become part of the group, I start making money on a monthly basis from that relationship. So that's how Instagram would make me money. Most people don't use Instagram that way. If I unlocked with 10,000 subscribers the swipe up feature, I could do what Gary Vaynerchuk does, and I could promote some of my merch from my store and my shirts and sell those in Instagram, and I would make money. It's not about being popular or being recognized in popular platforms. It's about leveraging attention to convert at some point to something monetizable if your goal is to make a living. If your goal is to make a living, it's not enough to go famous. You know how many viral YouTubers are poor? A lot of them. They don't talk about it out loud, a lot of people. Gabby Dunn wrote a tremendous article about the sad economics of being internet famous. I definitely recommend you look it up. But she explained that somebody who was like viral and like working for BuzzFeed still had to work as a barista, and that was a problem. And it's not an uncommon thing. There are plenty of YouTubers with 500,000 to 1 million subscribers that all of you go gaga over that are struggling financially because they are 20-something, got internet famous, and never actually took a business class in life and didn't form an LLC and didn't know what to charge for sponsors, were getting ripped off by sponsor deals, because they've never made real money in their life. Because when you're 20 years old, you don't know what a good salary is. You don't know what a good amount of money is. You don't know what your worth is when you're 20, 25. Heck, there are people who are 30 and 40 that don't know what their value is. So a lot of people become internet famous and it doesn't really affect their bottom line in a meaningful way. A lot of people become internet famous and never figure out how to make real money. And there are plenty of obscure YouTubers that you guys don't know about or don't respect yet that have 10 and 20,000 subscribers and make six figures. There are plenty of YouTubers. A lot of them are in the fitness and health space because what they do outside of YouTube is they do consulting. So many of you are just trying to make it on this YouTube ad money, and it hasn't occurred to you that you don't need the YouTube views or subscribership, that just having 200 or 300 people that view you on YouTube that like what you do enough to where they buy a product or go into a, here's some real math. Here's some real math. If you had 200 people in your audience that cared enough about what you do to spend, hang on, because here's some math for you. 200 times 500 is 100,000, right? 200 times 500 is 100,000. So watch this. $500 for the year over the course of a month is only $41.66. If you had an audience of 200 people that cared enough about what you do to where they were willing to give you $50 a month for something, you would make $100,000 a year. I want you to really understand this math. I really want you to understand. 500 times 200 is 100,000. $500 for the year from 200 people is $100,000. If you had 200 people in your audience that were willing to do $50 worth of business with you a year, you would make six figures. And you guys don't realize that that's the math. So, instead of worrying about making it on YouTube, instead of worrying about being YouTube famous, instead of worrying about the ad revenue, what you really have to figure out is, how do I get 200 people to love what I do enough, and what can I give them that is worth $50 every single month? Is that merchandise? Is it a template? Is it a membership group? Is it a service? Is it something that I can trade? Is it something like time? Like, how do I get 200 people to give me $50 every single month? Or how do I get 200 people to give me $500 one time? That's the only math that you really have to figure out to make it quote-unquote online. And again, not everyone has to make $100,000. Malevolent Elephant says, Chris Jones from Pump Chasers makes well in the six figures because he does consulting, has a clothing line, supplements, etc. And he doesn't have 1 million subs. Exactly. This is what I mean about the fitness thing. The fitness thing is real. The fitness thing is real because you can do affiliate marketing, you can do network marketing, you can do supplements, you can do a clothing line, you can do consulting, you can do a paid download product, and you can do a membership group, and you can actually do events as a fitness person. Like, there's and sponsorships on top of it. It's easy to build out 10 revenue streams if you're in the fitness niche. It really is. Now, scaling them to the right amount of money is going to be work. When I say easy, I'm talking about the simplicity and straightforward nature of it. It will be hard work. So that's my ask. That's not my ask. That's my tell more than anything. That's what I would say. So that's the real answer is, if you wanted to make a living on YouTube, you know what the fastest way to make a living on YouTube is? Selling products and services. Selling products and services. Vanessa Blanco says, please do a video on membership groups. It's coming. It's coming. So, yeah, like the fastest way to make money online, I actually am going to make a video titled The Fastest Way to Make Money Online. Here's the sneak peek. Sell products and services. Ooh, shocking. I know. Sell products and services. Sell products and services. It's really straightforward. Cerizo, I actually talked about YouTube Music a lot in the last live stream that I did, so reference that. Also, if you watch my video on how to real business advice for every animator and artist, it says artist for a reason, and it's not just talking about illustrators. Reverse engineer that, apply it, substitute every time I say art and music in that video, every time I say art and animation in that video, in your brain, substitute the word music, just dub it over, and that's your answer. So, I mean, it's really straightforward, guys. It's going to be hard work. You're going to have to grind, but it's just the truth. It's just the truth. But, guys, I got to go. I got to drink this water. I've got to rest my voice a little bit because I've got a podcast to jump onto. But, the answer is it's hard work, guys. Study success. understand that the algorithm changed in 2013. The old rules don't apply. Subscriber count doesn't matter. View count doesn't matter. It's all about behavior. So, wow. So, just really focus on what is the best content you can do for your audience, and do as much of that. Thank you, Dyson, for the super chat. Yes, I've heard of Alex Becker. I love the guy. His attitude, a lot of people don't resonate with it. I like the guy. I understand how some people could be turned off with him, but like, I like Alex. Like, he's a good dude. I'd love to do something with him sometime. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for tuning in to the live stream. I'll be hitting you up with some content over the weekend. I got some travel coming up, so I'm trying to figure that out. But guys, seriously, follow me at Roberto Blake over on Instagram. You're going to love it. So help me grind over 10,000 over there, because once I get that swipe up, I can really talk to you about how that swipe up thing works, and I can give you some tutorials on that. Anyway, like this video if you guys like it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're not. Trying to do these once a week with you guys. Also have a tips video coming out over the weekend, so definitely stay tuned for that. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Go out there, create something awesome today. Take care.